Starting live video. Okay, Worcester, you're going to have to go. You have to go. Good boy. Go and lie down. Go and lie down. That's a good boy. Sorry, folks. I'm just sorting Worcester out. Go and lie down. It's a good boy. Got the whole king-size bed to lie on. Let's just make sure that you can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Yeah. I'll just try and turn some lights on. Oh, right. Okay. Hi, blimey. Oh, that's bright. That's terribly bright. Okay, so I feel like I'm being burnt by the sun. Hi, folks. Oh, there's 6 people watching. Let me just have a look. Oh, sorry. Let me just kind of. Oh, it's not. It hasn't started well. I'll just say. Just saying. Right, back in a minute. Come on. Show me. Aha! I can see myself. Oh dear. So hello. Oh, right, okay, sorry. I need to turn the sound down on here because it's like about 3 seconds slower and I can hear myself singing, which is, not a good thing. Okay, so I have started a little bit earlier today, just so that I can talk to you a little bit about mental health. It's Mental Health Month. Although I personally believe that mental health should be focused 24/7, 365 days of the year, every decade, every century, every millennia, whatever, okay? Because it's so important, mental health. Whether you've got good mental health or bad mental health, it doesn't mean to say that you own that mental health, because it fluctuates, okay? So for some people are aware of this. Some people know I have a condition called high functioning autism. Okay, so it's a type of autism, and it has its benefits and it has its disadvantages, and it's all whatever. It is what it is, as I always say. But that in itself is not mental health. Okay, so it's not a mental health condition. However, it does attribute to my mental health. Okay, so I am prone to things like anxiety, stress, massive ups, and like euphoria, and like, which is basically 95% of my life, the euphoria. Looks like I'm doing a Mexican wave on by myself. And then I have massive lows. Now, the massive lows don't last very long, but trust me, they are big and fundamental in my life. Not always attributed to anything. So like things can just happen and it just happens. And then other things can be about like sometimes feeling a bit sidelined or overlooked or invisible or things like that. Now, I struggle with my self-identity. I struggle with who I am, how I look, am I good enough? All of that. Which means that I throw myself into everything 7 billion% if there is such a thing. But I have to say that the big thing in my life that keeps me sane, now when I say it keeps me sane, it doesn't, cure me, but keeps me as sane as I was when I came into this world anyway, is my craft. Crafting for me is that thing that helps me connect. It makes me feel like I'm wanted, that I'm liked, that I'm appreciated, that the things that I do are good enough. That's all it has to be, doesn't it? It has to be good enough. But I have to say that mental health, for me, gets me in some low states. And if it wasn't for craft, I really genuinely don't think I would be here. 6 years ago, my relationship of 14 years, and my marriage to my husband ended very suddenly. Won't go into any details, but it broke my world apart. It was like chicken licking and the sky falling in. And I honestly don't think I would still be here if it wasn't for it wasn't for craft, and the fact that the crafting community is so accepting of people, doesn't matter who you are. But you guys are the things that make me feel like I'm worthy and I'm worth it, and that, you know, I can do things and I am useful in the world. I genuinely believe everybody has a use in the world and a purpose, and like we feel that loss exponentially when somebody, you know, can't do it anymore. But you need to look after your mental health, and for me, craft does that, because what it does is it's not just about acceptance, it's about the fact that if I'm having a low day, I can craft and I can make my things, and whether you like them or not it's not about you. Everything I make, whatever it is, I'm just going to grab something, for instance, every part of this is part of me and my emotion and what and who I am and my identity. And I absolutely would not be here without craft. If I'm making this, I mean, this took me a couple of nights to make, okay, so, you know, you might not appreciate it, whatever. I'm like, you know, it is what it is. But that couple of nights meant that was a couple of nights where I didn't feel lonely, where I didn't feel that I wasn't part of anything, where I didn't feel invisible. So for me, that's what it does for me, for my mental health. It's mindful. It means that I'm focusing on the moment. I'm not talking about the Zen mindfulness, sitting on the floor, or chinging some like symbols together, or chanting, or doing the downward dog. I'm talking about how it helps me. It just means that I can focus on what I'm doing, and while I'm focusing on what I'm doing, I'm usually trying to focus on, like, if I'm using a scalpel, not to cut something off, or, you know, glue, not to glue myself to anything. But it's about focusing on that moment, and while I'm focusing on that, it means that I am not focusing on all the other things, the things that I can't change, the things that I can change, the things that I'm passionate about, the things that I don't care about, but all those things that worry our heads. And that's, for me, what it does. That's what craft does for me. And, you know, I'm if you saw me 6 years ago, you would see the difference it's made to my life. I mean, I just feel like I'm part of something. I'm part of something really great. And I'm not crying because I'm upset. I'm crying because I'm happy, because I actually feel like I'm part of something. And I'm a very emotional person. I mean, I know autistic people get a bad rap for not being very emotional, but it's not that I'm not emotional. I've just got too many emotions, and I don't know how to express them all. So I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to cry. But emotions are good. Just don't let them overtake you. So I use humor as well. Humor is a great way to deflect everything, and, like, you know, and like, you might not like my humor, and you might not. You might think I'm a buffoon or daft or whatever, but you know what? I'm me. I am what I am. I'm my own special creation. And thank you. And like, it's 3 o'clock now. I better get on with some craft, because like, so like, if there's any water droplets on the stuff that I'm doing, okay, you know why. Okay, because I've been having a boo. So I need to turn these lights off as well, because I feel like I am, well, I'm not going to turn them off. I'm just going to move them away from me, because like, currently they're shining at me. It's like, don't walk into the light, Dave. So, oh, that's better. Blimey. Whoa, they're bright. So, I don't, you know, I didn't expect to cry, so I didn't have a tissue. So, so you know what? I've got a sleeve. That's what they were made for. Well, don't tell my mother that. So, right, okay, let's get on with this, because like, otherwise we'll be here all day. And I'll read your comments later, because like, if I read your comments, you'll make me cry even more. All right, so I'm gonna get on. Okay, so I think I've kind of done this the wrong way around. Yeah, I did. So the quality of the video might not be the same. So I need to just move you over here. And I don't know whether you're going to be the right way up or not. Let's just do that, and it might be the wrong way. Yeah, it's the wrong way up. It would be, wouldn't it? Oh, let's just turn this round, Dave. It's just easier. How about that? I did forward-facing camera this week, and I don't know why I normally do backward-facing camera. That's a terrible angle, and I can't tell whether I'm in the right place. Right, move the light, because all you can see is the... Oh, Dave. I'm really sorry about this, folks. I'm having problems getting my camera sorted out, but, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? So, quality of the picture might not be the same. Oh, gosh, where are we? I need to... I don't know what to do now. I don't know whether to get... Right, okay, I can't cope with it being wonky. I'm really sorry. You're going to have to bear with me while I... Right, that's going to kind of have to do, I think. Let's hope that can kind of get you in a bit more. Oh dear, sorry about this, folks. Like 4 hours trying to get the camera sorted out. If I'd done it the normal way, would have been all right. Okay, all right. Anyway, so I might move it in a minute, but let's get on with this. Otherwise, we'll be like here all day, won't we? So, oh heck. Right, okay. Stop moving the camera, Dave. Stop moving it. I know that's what you're saying. Sorry, because I've been talking about mental health. It's triggered me mental health now. It's my OCD. That's what it is. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so we were looking at this journal. So the whole point of this video-y thing is that I show you how to make this, okay, or a facsimile of this, should we say. It's not going to be necessarily this. In fact, it's already not this. Stop moving the camera. It's this. This is what we have. Okay, so we've got this page, which is what we did on the first week was this, second week was this, third week was this. We're on part 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do is make something for here. Okay, I need to turn these comments off because if I have the comments on, that's all I'm focusing on. I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to move the camera again. My mental health is just not great now because my camera's not right. You know, when things aren't the way that they want them to be, that's what triggers meltdowns for me. Okay, so let's move that out of the way, and let's try and, I'll tell you what, I'll move me mat. So if that's that end, that needs to be that way. Okay. So we're going to make something for here. Now, remember, we're keeping it quite like almost like utilitarian kind of look, basically. So we have we've got rusty bits and old bits of paper, and this is, oh, by the way, the only thing else that I did to this is I finished it off and I put a picture on Facebook, but I also put a magnet in this. So this has a magnet. Can you hear that? Yeah, it's got a magnet attachment in it, and so of course now it opens up like this. Finished all of this off. This is a tuck pocket here, and that just tucks into there. This is a pocket here, this is a pocket here, and this is a pocket here. Okay, so that's where we are, and it magnets together, so when you're turning the page it doesn't, you know, fall open. Magnets, I bought mine from Etsy. They're a couple of quid and you get like 20 of them, so you know, you can do 10 projects because you obviously need 2 to magnet to each other. So we're going to put something here, and then we're going to put something here. So I'm going to focus on this bit first, okay, which I know is like out of sequence. And remember, we talked about envelopes last week, okay? So, oh, and bags. By the way, things, paper bags, gusseted bags. are lovely. These are from Tesco. These are lunch bags. These are much more environmentally friendly than those plastic ones. Okay, now I keep all sorts of bags, like cookie bags and all sorts of things. Some of you have seen the stuff I make with cookie bags. But what I wanted to talk to you about envelopes again, because these are white. These are white undyed, and these are just dyed with some coffee. Okay, and that's all I do is coffee dye. And remember when I said about last week when you put them in the oven and this bit goes crinkly? You can fix that by some of this. If you ever get any of this in your cereal, then cut some of that out and put that in the front, or it's plastic, so it's better that you use it rather than throw it away. Or this is just coffee dyed tracing paper. You can use just ordinary tracing paper. It just makes it a bit nicer than an open window. Okay, so we'll come back to those. Okay, so what we're going to do is today is we're going to have some kind of a business envelope flip on here. Now, a couple of things I was thinking is you could have, because typical me, I haven't planned it. You know, I'm better when I wing things. So you see the little flaps on there? They're great as being your hinges for things, which means you have a tuck pocket, yeah, and you have, you know, you can see the you can see the thing from here, okay, and you can also layer them up, so like you kind of overlap them. So if they're like that, and then you've got a little bit of interest, you could get 3 like that on there. Okay, now you can either use those ones or you can use these ones, the ones that are already used. Okay, and I'm going to have a variety. So I'm going to use the used, well, not the used ones, the coffee dyed ones. I just think they're a bit more interesting. I might have a thingy one on it. Okay, right, that one's already sealed. So I'm going to have 2 of those. Yeah, that's right, it's not quite. My hands are filthy, by the way. By the way, I haven't got any kind of like disease. It's just a stamp I was using. So stamping it into my hand, obviously. So, okay. So these fit. Now that's one thing you really need to check. If you're going to use these kind of business style envelopes, you need to check that these fit first, okay? Because there's no point you getting all creative, making something, blah, 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 and then you find that it kind of hangs off the page, okay? So make sure that they fit, and if they don't fit, I'll show you a thing that you can do with them. So you can make a little style, like pocket style thing, okay? So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to glue this bit, this flap down. Do not glue it completely so that you don't glue this bit. Just glue it back as though you were sealing it as an envelope, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, right. Let's get got the new bottle for the Fabri-Tac, which means that my Fabri-Tac, I don't have to wait 3 years to be able to squeeze it to get it out, so it comes out nicely now. I'm only using Fabri-Tac because it's primed and ready to go. I think it's a ploy for me to use more Fabri-Tac, to be fair. Don't try and put that on. Oh, yeah, okay, there you go. So I'll get that primed and ready as well. So it's going to fall over, isn't it, today? Yeah, okay, so stick that down, okay, and then flip it over. Okay, now decide which bit you want. Okay, I'd quite like to keep that avion. Oh, don't get me started. Okay, I'm going to deploy this. I've found something, by the way. I use these scalpel blades, and you know that I do. Okay, but what I've found is they're blunting very quickly, and the problem is the glass mat, because the glass mat just blunts the tip, and once your tip's blunted, you can't do anything else. So these are much more forgiving. These are those self-healing mats. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut corner off. Okay, it doesn't matter how you cut your corner off, just cut your corner off to start with. Okay, I've cut a corner off, and then in order to get it exactly the same as the other side, flip it over, yeah, and then you probably know how to do this, so hopefully I'm not teaching you to suck eggs. Then, do not try and cut that bit, because this is what you will cut in the end. You might not do it the first time, but trust me, I've done it. Ouchie McOuchie. Nobody wants a junk journal with your blood all over it. And then also cut that bit off. You flipped it over, and that should Much harder to do it upside down. Okay, flip that with the corner off, and you don't need those. You could keep them. I mean, I do keep them. I use them as like little photo pocket corners. But you know what I'm like, I keep everything. And then the only other thing you need to do is you're going to just need to cut the very tip of your envelope off. Now, if your envelope was too big for your page, okay, then you just cut it further down. You cut it to however you need it, okay? And then this bit flips over here. Now, I like this. I like this kind of like industrially kind of look, the, you know, utilitarian kind of look. If you don't like it, you could always fold it in. I feel like I'm shouting today. Am I shouting? You can always tuck it in, okay? I can have it like that, okay? You can have that so that it flips over, or you can leave it up like that, okay? If you've got any bits where it's not completely glued, this is your opportunity to glue them. I've put that up the other way. It should stick. Should be able to get it out. There we go. So, just it upside down. Okay. So, for this, what should I do? Should I have it in or out? In or out? In or out? I don't know. 4 hours later, it's decided. Okay, now let's have it in. There we go. Okay, so that's one of our pockets. That was easy, that wasn't it? So that's why I say don't glue this bit like down, because you've got a full pocket then. Yeah. Okay. Now you could have it shorter, you could have it long. Well, you can't have it longer because it's not, you have to have it the same size as the envelope. Okay. I was going to say, I did put some envelopes to one side, and I don't know which ones I've put to one side now. There you go. So, how I'm going to have it is, let's have a look. Do I want that in the middle of those? Now, you need to use your stuff. Don't go and get the stuff that I've got, because it's your stuff that you need to use. And that's the great thing about junk journaling. It's you use what you've got, not what you have to. Okay, so I do want it like that, or do I want it like that, or do I want it like that? Right, okay, I like the one in the middle. I like a bit of a sandwich. Steady. Okay, yeah, okay, so what I need to do first is I need to glue the first one on. Okay, I might decorate the front of these, but it'll only be something very simple. Okay, so I'm going to have it somewhere in the middle. Okay, now because it's a hinge and these have been coffee dyed, the hinges tend to be less strong. Look how they rip easily. So my advice to you, take it or leave it, it's entirely up to you, is use some washi tape. Okay, well, most of us have got washi tape. I know people that aren't crafters that have got washi tape, to be fair, so this is kind of picking up that theme, but it was just a merely accident that this happened. This does actually say airmail on it, so all I'm doing is just strengthening that hinge. Nothing fancy. Okay, so that's going to be, yeah, that's fine. Okay, big thing about washi tape is, it's great, it sticks, unless you need it to stick, in which case it doesn't stick. Oh, look, it's sticking to me. So, I don't have anybody to take it off me. There you go. Okay, so, it's always a good idea. It's always a good idea to stick it somewhere. No, just, I mean, like, reinforce it, put a bit of glue down. Okay, you don't have to use Fabri-Tac, like I say, you can use any of your choice. PVA is great because it's very flexible. It's great for a hinge. So all I'm going to do is just going to stick that over the same bit. It doesn't have to go all the way to the end. You don't have to worry about the ripped bit, because remember, you're trying to make it very utilitarian. Well, I'm trying to make mine very utilitarian. If you want to make it more pretty, then do that. That's entirely up to you. Okay, and just think about the fact that you want it to kind of reinforce that hinge. That's really what you're doing. Okay, so you know, I quite like it now. It looks quite nice. You can put some on the inside if you like. You could choose something different, maybe, Dave. See, this is more papery. This is more tissuey, and this is more papery. So yeah, I quite like that. I do like a ripped edge, I have to say. We're back to this again, aren't we, Dave? Stick that somewhere. Stick it somewhere. Okay. So yeah, it's just about thinking. Basically, it's about thinking about it. This is why I think it's great for your mental health, is because you're thinking about this. I'm not worrying about whether I've left the washing machine on or the oven on, or have I done the stuff for Worcester or whatever. Everything is kind of sidelined. I say Worcester because I don't have kids, so I certainly haven't done anything for the kids because I don't have any. So I'm just going to put that on there. And notice how I haven't gone right to the end, because I don't care. It's you're making it look. It's clearly a bit of junk. Somebody's junk. One man's junk is another man's treasure, isn't it? Or something like that. Okay, something, I don't know. I know that there are lots of sayings, but blimey, there were far too many for me to remember. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, now what you are going to have to do is create a bit more of a hinge on that. Remember, that paper has not got the same memory as this. Just the paper on its own, because you've reinforced it. If I'm not making any sense, then that's what it is. So I'm just going to glue this one down as well. Except for the fact that I've just realised I haven't actually got any washi tape ready. So I don't know whether it's going to be long enough or not long enough or whatever. So I'll have to rip my washi tape to the length. Like I say, honestly, craft, do it, make it, stick it, glue it, do it, stick it, glue it, do it. There you go. There's a tagline for you. Just do it. Don't worry about it, because I keep saying this, but nobody knows what you intended. So the finished result is what you intended. Just tell them that. Yeah? So that's what it was meant to look like. In fact, don't even say anything, because if you don't say anything, they won't know. So I'm going to have this one on the outside this time. In fact, I might spice it up a bit. I'm going to just rip a bit off the end, which never goes to plan. So I like that kind of you've used a bit of old stuff somewhere. Some of you will be going, oh, Dave, you haven't distressed the edge. You haven't made it darker or whatever. I know, I've got a bit of a thing for I've got that kind of a reputation now, haven't I? That Dave has to make it darker. So I'm not worried about that edge, because that edge is going to be glued. I'm not worried about that straight edge, because this is going to be glued down. So how big do I want it? I need it about there to there. Now I'm really good at, well, I'd say really good, it'll all go horribly wrong because that sounds boastful, but I'm very good at eyeballing things about where I need to stop, etc. If you're not, just put a pencil mark. Yeah, you're going to be covering it up with a bit of washi tape. It really doesn't make much difference. Sorry for the singing, although, some of you know me now. This is what happens. Singing is part of it. Okay, so I've also realised that to you, it looks like the picture is reversed. I've just looked at and it looks backwards, and that's because I'm using the forward-facing camera. So I don't know, why does it do that? Anyway, never mind. I did, like I say, I did use the forward-facing camera and not the backward-facing camera because my brain wasn't in it this afternoon, whatever time of day it is. So I'm going to have that one there. I'm going to have this one here. Now, hang on a minute. I know that you're going to say, but that doesn't have a hinge on it. Well, perhaps you're not going to say it like that. That doesn't have a hinge on it. You know, making assumptions here. So I'm going to have it like that, and we'll make a hinge for that. That's fine. So we've just strengthened a hinge here, so we can definitely make one for here, can't we? Can't we? The only answer is yes. So I'm going to make a hinge. Okay. So should I use just washi tape? Perhaps not. Perhaps it will not. Perhaps it will not. Perhaps it won't be strong enough. So what can I use that is? Okay, some paper. Couldn't I? I could just use, couldn't I? I could just use some paper now if I had some paper. That's fine. Find your board underneath everything. Okay. Oh, hello. What was that? Oh, that was close, wasn't it? And it cut me big toe off. Juggling with knives is my next video. Watch it live. No, it's not. Trust me, I'm not going to be juggling with knives. I'd have been kicked out of the circus. Okay, so I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use the width of this ruler to be the thing that I'm going to. This probably isn't the best thing to do on 5. There you go. So all I'm doing is use the width of the ruler. Okay, I was thinking, where's it gone? I thought we were doing magic then. Okay, so I'm using, where is it? There. So I'm going to use, I'm going to tear it off there, tear it off there, okay, because I like a bit of tearing. Oh, I was just thinking, what's that creaking? But it's my iPad falling over, like slowly in slow motion. It was watching it like fall over. Okay, so how I'm going to use it. So I'm going to fold it over to create that hinge. I don't know where bracket is, just hinge. Anybody remember hinge and bracket, or I just show my age here? That's fine, I'm just showing my age. It's absolutely fine. Use my airmail tape on it. Yep, rip it off. If you want to cut it, cut it. It's like, you know, to quote a phrase from Nick the Booksmith, I'm not your papa. Although she says, I'm not your mama. I'm not your mama, is what she says. And she doesn't say it in that deep voice either. So, so perhaps nothing like that, really. But yeah, I'm not your dad. I'm not telling you what you have to do and what you can't do. Okay, you just do what you like. Okay, so I've created my own little hinge now, and I think I'm going to rough up this edge. You knew that was coming, though, didn't you? You knew I can't cope with the straight edge. So, yes, this is, see how mindful this is. I've got my tongue out and everything, it's great. So, you know, I seriously don't think that, you know, I would be a good cutter if it was, well, a tearer if it wasn't for like having my tongue out. So, let's get some of this. I know, yes, see, this is where it comes out. This looks too new though, doesn't it? To be fair, come on, face it. Let's say it's too new. So we need to make this look a bit older. It's weird, we spend lots of time making something look old. But, you know, but then again, it would take much longer for a time to do it for you. So, it just makes me laugh, the amount of effort we put into something to make something look old. It's just interesting. Although, you know, he needs to get out more. So, like, I don't have a life, so this is what I think about at night. So, and if you have a life, good for you. So you should. You know, if you've got lots of friends or, you know, kids or things like that, then obviously they're going to take up your time as well. But if you're a single person like I am, then craft is my thing. I have made a promise to myself, because everybody else well, no, not everybody. Most of the people I've ever dated have never been into craft, and I've made a promise to myself that they're going to either have to appreciate my craft, or not, or, you know, there's not on the cards, because I'm not diluting my artistic talent. I'm an artist, you know. Artistic talent. Now remember, you're gonna glue this down to this side, okay? So just think about it before you do it. I don't know what this. I keep doing this. Right. Sorry. If I go a bit quiet, it's because I've got my tongue out. It's hard to glue, talk, and keep your tongue out at the same time. But I'm doing it. Perhaps I could be a ventriloquist. A ventriloquist. A ventriloquist. Is that the word? Ventriloquist. It is the word, yeah. Just doesn't sound. You know, sometimes things don't sound right when you say them out loud. So pop that on there, and I'm just gonna. I don't know if you can see this. I'm just gonna line it up so it lines nicely with the edge of that. Yeah, and remember, because this isn't, see, it wants to unfold, because it hasn't got the memory of being folded. Okay, one day I will find my actual bone folder, but until then I'll use this one. I say one day I'll find it. It might be lost forever, who knows? So I'm just going to make sure that this kind of knows where it belongs. I'm giving it a bit of a stern warning. Knows what I expect of it now. That's excellent. Okay, so I've got this on here. Perhaps I should have done that edge before I put it on the envelope, Dave, but never mind. In fact, the best thing for that, if you want to do that kind of edging, is these brushes are really good for that. So, because it's subtle, you don't end up with a hard line. Okay, remember, I'm not worried about this bit because that's going to be stuck down, okay? So, pull it all back and put it all in place. So if you were using the much more stark, bright envelopes, then I would suggest that you decorate them. If you want to use them bright and stark and white, then that's entirely up to you. But my suggestion would be that you kind of layer them with something, or put some book pages over it, or I think I've got a video on my YouTube where I've done things with envelopes. That sounds dodgy, doesn't it? He's done stuff with envelopes, you know. You need to watch him. Yeah, just checking that the window was going to be down. Okay, so again, Dave is tongue out in deploy tongue. So, yeah, I'm sure other people do that. It's not just me that sticks their tongue out. It's the sign of an artist. Obviously, you have to put your tongue back in again, otherwise people talking just walk around with your tongue out. So I'm going to put this on here. Now there's a line here, and you might not be able to see it on camera. I'll bend it. That's the line of you gusset, basically. I know other people don't. I know there are some people that don't like that word either, gusset. So I'm just lining it up with that line. I'm eyeballing it. You know, you want to make it perfect, then you make it perfect. That's up to you. Okay, I'm just going to stick that down. Yeah, and the thing I like about fabric tack, I think I've said this before, is if it leaves that kind of shiny residue, you just rub it off and it kind of comes off. So that's the first one. Then we're going to put this one on. So just have a look and think about how you want it. Now, I like the stripe, but with a little bit of the white showing, I think. Yeah. About like that. Okay, so where are we? Well, I'm in that way. I don't know where you are. So get the goo out of the end of me glue. Goo in the glue. Dave, you're good at this today. A bit of poet. You never didn't know it. I've written poetry. Yeah, we won't go there again. It's like my singing. I don't want to torture people. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing it. Remember, I'm not worrying too much, and that's all I'm doing. Just eyeballing it, holding it roughly where I want it to be. Just double check it before you stick it completely down. Yeah, I'm gonna have it like that. I think so. Well, I have it like that because I think it's kind of stuck now. So there's not much choice. Yeah, that'll do. And then we're going to put this one on. How exciting, eh? About there. About there. Yeah, okay, so again, remember, you need to stick it on this side, not on this side, otherwise you just glue your envelope shut. It's all in the wrist action. So, if you don't like the smell of coffee, by the way, then coffee dyeing might not be for you, because they do leave, that does have that kind of essence of coffee dye. Essence of coffee dyeing. What are you wearing? Essence of coffee dyeing. It's by Chanel, you know. No, if you don't like it, don't use it, okay? You can tea dye as well. Tea dyeing just creates a much lighter finish, okay? So it's entirely up to you. You can use whatever you like. It's yours. Like I say, I'm not your papa. So there we go. We've got a bit of a flippy, openy kind of thing, okay? So it means that we can decorate the back bit, okay? So what are we going to use? Guess what? We're going to use some envelopes. Wow. Let's have a look. So is it too big for this? Yes, way too big, Dave. Way. Even the envelope is too big. Okay. So let's... I always seem to get terrible guitar when I'm... Not guitar. I haven't got the guitar stuck. I get terrible guitar. No, guitar. When I'm doing a lot of talking. Maybe it's, nature trying to tell me to shut up. All I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this bit down. Okay. So I'm just basically following the line that was already here from these. It's that one of those self-sticky envelopes. It's a new envelope. It's not. It's literally I just bought some envelopes and just did some coffee dyeing on it. Oh dear. Well, I can hear Worcester starting to bark, so I'm really sorry if he starts barking. Okay, so I'm going to have, I can hear him growling now. Okay, so I like the way that this is all split. Okay, and I'm going to have a pocket here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit like that, but smaller. You'll see what I mean when I've done it. Okay. Things out of the way, Dave. See the wood for the trees. Let the dog see the rabbit, as they say. Okay, so I'm going to cut it higher than I need it. Be helpful. Use your square, Dave. Much easier if you do that. Okay, so I'm going to cut it higher than I need it. Let's line that up like that. Shush, Worcester, shush. They're just some other little doggies walking past the window. That's all it is. Okay, I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to keep it. Yes, I know, but I'm doing a live. I can't do anything now. I know, but I'll come and give you a big lovey and fussies later. Yeah, you get rubbies later. Yes. Oh, I know. You know I love you. You know I love you. Go on, go and lie down. As a good boy. Sorry about that, folks. My little woofer was demanding my attention. Remember, it's cut the corner off, flip it over, and that will give you the right angle for your corner. Lie your ruler back on, butt it up to that edge, and you'll get. Well, I'm just going to take the thing off. It didn't look like it was right, so line it up, butt it up, line it up, butt it up, and cut it off. Careful with that information. Line it up, butt it up, and cut it off. Remember, I like to keep the corners because they're good for those like little photo corners. Okay, and then this time I think I'm going to have it this way. You can scream at the camera all you like, but I'm having it this way. Okay, because this is quite fragile. Not Fraggle Rock. I'm just going to score it like this first. Okay, so all I've done is I've put the ruler down. Because this has got a flat edge to it, because it's quite a thick ruler, if you look at it, it's kind of, you've got a defined edge. I've butted it up against that crease, yeah, and this is just a tip, lifted it up, and then just kind of iron that crease against the ruler first, before you flip it over and do it that way, and then that should stop your paper from splitting as much. Okay, so do I want to rip that edge? No, I'm going to leave it. Sorry. I'm not sorry. What am I sorry about? Okay, so I'm just eyeballing it now. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to have this now as a little pocket. I'm going to have that in there. Yeah, and then you'll kind of see it. It's a kind of, it pulls your interest into looking in there. Okay. Don't worry about these still being like this. Once you've kept it closed for a while, they'll soon flatten down. Okay, I'm going to have that in there. Have it like that, and then you just have to think about it. Is there anything else you want on there? Okay, so that's entirely up to you whether you do or you don't. Okay, it might be up to your resources as well. Do you have anything that you could do anything with? Do you, Dave? Do you? Okay, so what I might do is I might have a little tuck in the top somewhere. I'll do that in a minute. Okay, it's 22 already. Where has the time gone? Time flies when you're having fun. See, this is why I think it's really mindful, because, you know, I haven't noticed the time go. You might have noticed the time go. You might be thinking, oh, shut up, Dave. But I haven't noticed the time. So I'm going to have that there. Okay, and then I cut a bit off, didn't I? I did. See, I did. And I could have that up there and have that as a little like pocket. But then you have to think you wouldn't be able to get a lot in there because you're not giving yourself much space. Okay, I could have that further up, and I could have a little pocket down here, or I could have a pocket here. I might have a pocket here actually. Now there's another good thing. I'm not going to use it in this bit, but that's another thing to do is if you glue the pocket down like the envelope down like I did for that envelope, okay, and then fold this bit up, that becomes an automatic self pocket. It gives you a bit of a window, a bit of a glimpse of what might be inside, that sort of thing. But it's just another thing you might do. You know, I could do it with this one. And you could do it like that. Now I'm thinking, should I? You know what? Let's do it, Dave. In for a penny, in for a pound. Now, oh sorry, I wanted to say about these envelopes, however you choose to say it. Whatever neck of the woods you're in. Okay, when you these ones, they've got, I don't know whether you can see that, it's got like a perforated line here, which means that they're easy to rip open like that. If you want to reinforce it with a bit of washi tape, you want to put it inside so you can't see it, or outside so you can. It's entirely up to you. But I'm not going to be getting physical with this journal. No wrestling of this journal. Okay, so I'm going to put that one on. So I could then create maybe another one at the back. I told you we were going to wing it today, but that's what junk journaling is about. It's not build a card. It's about get creative, think about all the fun things you can do. You know, I'm probably gonna stamp it with some things. Remember I said about these things that these are good for. So every time I find a new corrugated cardboard, I kind of stick it to a bit of board, and then that becomes like my own little stamp thing. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is this. This is heat foam. So you heat it up and you press it against something, and it creates that thing. So on this one, I just put a bit of, see, this is how my mind goes. My mind digresses all the time. All I did was I put a bit of this, I put a bit of heated it up, and put it through a stencil. So pressed it into this stencil. Okay, don't know who the stencil's by, I'm sorry, it's on there, but the writing's far too small for me to be able to read. And then all you do is you kind of just like put it on, and like that kind of crackly image, you know, you don't have to get the stencil out and create that crackly image. You can kind of do it yourself. Do you see what I mean? See, I've got like that look. You might not like it, but I do. And the other thing I did was this was some of these styrofoam balls, although I'm sure that we used to call them polystyrene balls. And this, I heated it up and I just pressed it into there. If you heat it up again though, be warned, it just returns to the way it used to be. So I've put that on there. Okay. And we're going to have that on there. So should we have it that way up so we can see the envelope in the window, or should we not worry about the window? I'm not going to worry about the window. I'm going to leave the window off. I just don't have any plain envelopes. That's the reason why I'm not using a plain envelope. Okay, so I'm going to, again, remember, I'm going to cut a bit off the top. I'm going to use the width of the ruler this time because it's fast. The Fast and Furious. Well, I'm not furious, I'm just fast. Try and use the full height of it. I might use the full height of it. Yeah, otherwise I'm cutting all of that nice decoration that I've just done off it. Okay, I didn't use my other mat, so I've probably blunted my blade now. This is, Brian says he can't understand how I can work like this. So Brian's a good friend of mine and he also does lives, but he doesn't understand how I managed to get myself into like this tiny space, and then I'll be working here because I've run out of space. It just happens. It's the evolution of my craft. So, not the evolution. I'm going to use a less steep slope on this. And I'm going to use that. Remember, flip it over, place it on this side. Put your ruler up against it. Probably get a better angle for cutting at, but you know, hey ho. It's all entertainment if I cut something off. Well, at least I've got a witness. You're all so do that again because I'm worried about that splitting. So I'll just do that, lift it up. Yeah, better if you got a proper bone folder. Oh, I really don't know where mine is. I have no idea where that's gone. I'm just going to do that, and although I'm going to tuck it in the other way, it's just giving me a bit of a fold to to work it along. Just realised that hasn't stuck. Oh no, it's because I didn't stick it down. In fact, I might put it on the lip. There, let's do that, and then fold it up. Crafting chaos. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I've got this nice like little tucky envelope now. It's amazing what you can do with an envelope, honestly. You guys, you need to stop chucking these out, especially because this is just plastic anyway. So, like, you know, if I'm keeping this, that's one less dolphin with a bit of plastic in its mouth. So, and then I'm going to put that on there, and then we've got a pocket, and a pocket. So I'm going to completely stick this down. So I'm not going to worry about having little tucks. If you want to have a tuck, maybe you want to have a little tuck in here, or you want to tuck at the side, or, you know, whatever, you can do that. But guess what? I'm not going to. I don't know what this shake is about. I've kind of developed this since getting this bottle. So. And sticky stick, stick it down, down, down. I was listening to, before I came on air, I was listening to Fleetwood Mac, because I haven't listened to Fleetwood Mac for a long time. I do still like Fleetwood Mac. It's bizarre. Really was a bit out of my timeline, Fleetwood Mac, but the first person I ever dated was considerably older than me, and I was introduced to it. So I was introduced to Fleetwood Mac, and Mike and the Mechanics is the other one that I was introduced to that I've never heard of prior to meeting him. So it's weird how you get that musical influence from other people, isn't it? I'll just tuck that back in, Dave. Okay, so we've got a tuck there. I'll pop this one on here. I'm going to glue these. Right, okay, because I want to make this as a pocket, I'm going to have to glue those sides down, aren't I? Aren't I? That was terrible grammar. So pop those on there, and just Fabri-Tac has become the go-to thing. Actually, the reason is because I'm very short of this, and I have Fabri-Tac at the moment. So, I've got to say, I saw somebody using, one of the Australian people using some great envelopes that have got like, they've got like a writing just here. It says postcode on it. I would kill for some of them. Maybe not kill, maybe kick, or slightly maim. Maybe, I don't know, kick, pinch. I might pinch them for some of that. I'm not into maiming people. So, yeah. I don't know anybody in Australia, kangaroo. Dave, chill up. Don't stop with your terrible accents. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to do is it's too big for me. It kind of encroaches. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this over again. Right, make sure you're not squashing everything else if you're going to do stuff like this. So I'm just going to eyeball it again. Let's hope it's straight. Not that I've ever been worried about that. Yeah, okay, so let's do that there. Blimey, this is a bit technical for. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up. Remember, I'm going to just score against that. The side, the upper side of that ruler. Okay. I love doing stuff with you guys because Honestly, I don't know just the time go. I hope you appreciate me posting stuff when I post it. I'm not posting it to you, but and thank you for accepting me. Your acceptance of me into the craft community has really helped my mental health. Now, we all have some bad press, don't we? We all have some people who don't like us for some reason, and you can't do much about that. And you know, equally, I don't understand people that have to tell people that something negative. If you haven't got anything good to say, don't say anything at all. Don't tell people that you don't like them. Just don't interact with them. So much better for both parties' mental health. Okay, so I've got this bit here now. Obviously, I realise that you can't. It's not very defined. This kind of crazy spottiness makes it really hard for you to see that there is a pocket there. Okay, so you could maybe put one of these things in it, although I don't know whether it would actually go in. No, maybe before you glued it down, Dave. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put some washi tape on the edge. Okay, so yeah, so if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's really bad for people's mental health, and it's also not very nice, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I've had a few people in the past that have like insisted on telling me that they don't like me or what I'm doing is rubbish. But you know, on the whole, I get good press. When I was on TV, that was like, you know, some people really feel that they have to tell you that you aren't as good as whoever. Oh, you know what? Do you know what? It doesn't matter. I might not be as good as. I'm just different. So, there you go. So, what have I done in 55 minutes is we've created a bit of a flippy openy thing. Now I can decorate this till my heart's content. I might do, you know, look, do it, winging it live. Okay, so where shall I put this? I might put this on maybe up there. I'm not going to press too hard because I don't want to have, you know, the undulations underneath. See how nice that is? That just looks like really quirky, different. I mean, like, you'd never get a postage mark that big. Unless you live in the land of giants, of course, which, you know, some of you might do. So, yeah, so in the hour, well, 55 minutes or whatever it was, we've created this. Okay, I'm going to decorate it up, so, like, that might happen off camera. I never know. Maybe you need to tell me this in the comments. Do you want me to decorate this stuff live with you, or do you want me to just show you the techniques and then do the decoration, you know, without you? You know, I was going to say I'm easy, but, like, you know, I might get a bad press for that. So yeah, so you need to tell me. So, oh, sorry, I'm just going to score these because, like, it just helps them to stay flat. But remember, once it's been shut like that for a week, which it will be after I finish this, it's not going to be a massive issue. Oh, there's a pocket there. There's a pocket in that there, but you wouldn't be able to get anything in it because of that. So I might. You know what I was inspired to do for that? I know I'm kind of digressing now. I don't even know where it is. Where is it, Dave? This. So this oh, sorry. It says my address on it, doesn't it? Oh, no, it doesn't. Good. This has come from a broadband provider. I was inspired to make something like this that just folds out. So having it here, obviously not this size. This is a giant version. And I'm not sponsored by them, so, you know, I use that other company that begins with D. So that's what I'm inspired to do there, something that kind of like folds out. But, you know, we'll see. So, yeah, blimey, that 55 minutes just goes like that. And actually, I've started tend to. Wow, it's amazing. Sorry about the camera jiggly. Sorry about the some kind of strange illness. This does sort of slightly trip my I can't remember what it is. I've got a fear of holes and like random holes and like dots and things like that. It begins with T. Tropo. Alexa, what's a fear of holes?
According to Wikipedia, trypophobia is an aversion to the sight of irregular patterns or clusters of small holes or bumps. It is not officially recognized as a mental disorder, but may be diagnosed as a specific phobia if excessive fear and distress occur.
Alexa, cancel. You need to get rid of the picture off there as well, because like the problem is when Alexa, or whenever you Google it, if you Google trypophobia or whatever it is, I can't remember now, the first thing it brings up is a seed head of I think I can't even think what it is. It brings up a seed head that really trips it for me, and like, what is that about? If you Google arachnophobia, if you're afraid of spiders, you don't want to see a picture of a spider, do you? So okay, so anyway, my fear of random holes aside, we finish this. I'll probably do this bit on my own, okay? Now, I did say I was going to do this and then this, but I didn't. I did this. So what we'll do is we'll do this, and this. So remember, the other thing I just want to say before I go is don't make this too deep if this is deep, because remember, you've only got a small gusset, and what you don't want to end up with is big crocodile-style journal that does this, because it doesn't sit together, okay? This is opening a little bit, but that's, that's those envelopes are pushing it a bit, but I'm kind of happy. And also this is me doing you a tutorial rather than thinking consciously about it. So I'll put that to one side. I will put that one up there. Remember to keep all the bits and things and the snippets and things that you find that you think, oh, I like that, I might stick that in that journal. Well, keep it all together, because I tell you now, when you say that you might stick it in that journal, you never find the flaming thing when it comes to it. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I will see you next week, obviously. I'm committed to this. We're doing this whether you like it or not. And I just want to say, spread the word of kindness. Be kind to yourself, though. If you can't give a good gift unless you can give it to yourself first. So when you get upset about people like not taking a compliment, you have to say to yourself, well, can I take a compliment? I can take a compliment because, that's your opinion. So I will always say thank you very much. And whether I agree with it or not, I won't tell you that, though. Be kind to yourself. Spread the word of kindness. Spread smiles. When you're out in the street and you're not wearing a mask, smile. Please smile at people. Smile at those strangers, because we don't smile enough. And now we're wearing masks. There are some people who haven't seen us smile for days, weeks, months. Yeah. Smile. It's really good for your mental health. It's good for other people's mental health. Share, the word of craft. Help other people. Be kind to each other. I'm sending you all my genuine love, and I'm getting emotional now again because I'm a big softie. Okay, so I just want to say thank you very much to everybody for accepting me and for being there for me. So, I'm really sorry. So anyway, have a great week, and I will see you all very soon. I'm sending you all my love. Take care. Speak to people. Don't bottle it up. All right. I love you all. Mwah. Mwah, mwah. Lots of kisses, lots of hugs. I really need a real hug. I'm going to like hug my dog now. All right, you have a really lovely day. And I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye. Stop this now, and I can't see what I'm doing.